Hey guys, what's up? We're back with some more Reactions After Dark. We are, of course, watching Disturbing Things I Found on the Internet, Volume 14 by Lazy Masquerade, which this is the last one that was uploaded by him. So we're kind of like done with the Lazy Masquerade stuff for now, since I don't think I'm going to watch any of the other stuff. Unless I like run out of things to watch. So after this, we're going to be going into Crowley, back to Crowley, since we do keep pinging back and forth between these two. We might add Mr. Ball in just because I don't have anything else to really think about watching right now. I will have to start looking up stuff. Maybe we can actually just like, I keep talking about Nuke's Top 5, even though Nuke's Top 5 is kind of cringe. We can add some of that in, maybe. Those videos are pretty short too, which I don't know how I feel about that, but oh well. Let's get straight into this. What the last time? What did we do? We had the one incel video because we were talking about Mr. Nick Crowley stuff, and then after that was I don't even remember what the one in between was. Yeah, I literally don't remember. I don't even remember what the last one was. That's just how bad it is for me right now. Not the video, it's just like trying to remember things. Maybe it'll come back to me. Also, we have another cold open here, just straight into this.
If you've been to Japan recently, there's a good chance you've seen this woman's face, plastered on a TV screen in a store window.
Well, I mean, I haven't been to Japan, so no, I do not know who this is.
Or a passenger's smartphone on a crowded train. If you did, it's not because she's an idol or a rising star. It's because she's at the center of one of Japan's most polarizing incidents in years. One that made headlines as recently as March 2025.
We're using this stock footage of this map of Japan, because he used this when he was talking about the Shine website, where the wives want to wish death upon their husbands, cursing them to die.
And one that's bound to leave a lasting scar on the internet, as the whole thing was broadcast live.
The fatal live stream. Okay, wait. This is a month ago. Is this the one where the live streamer was like killed live on camera? Is that who this is? Is that what this is?
To thousands.
It must be
Irie
then.
Sato was a 22-year-old streamer with a sizable online following. Known by her online moniker, Mogami, a name which she had taken from a popular voiceover actress, Irie had built a dedicated community on Who Watch TV. Fans tuned in not to watch her play games or talk passionately about her hobby, but rather just to hear her chat and perform challenges. You see, Irie's main draw was her charm. She knew how to win people over, how to gain their loyalty. She had a Platinum Plus badge on her profile to prove it, which marked her out as one of the platform's top live streamers. Considering that she'd grown up in a children's home, estranged from her family, had been living alone since 15, and had only received a basic education, the young Irie had done well for herself. Offline, Irie had another job in Yamagata City. A lot of English sources say that this was at a restaurant, but in reality, she worked as a hostess in a kyabakura, clubs where men pay exorbitant amounts of money to spend time drinking and chatting with glamorous people.
I was gonna say, like, what does that mean? But yeah, we see these quite a lot in anime. These like host clubs.
Female employees, who in return pretend that they're interested in them. It's not uncommon for these hostesses, particularly younger ones who are strapped for cash, to engage in what's known as papakatsu.
No clue what that means.
A term which broadly translates into sugar daddy hunting.
Okay, sure.
Since the men who visit kyabakuras tend to be lonely salarymen starved for affection, it's often the case that they form one-sided relationships with their favorite hostesses and shower them with money and gifts in exchange for cold comfort and plastic companionship.
I was wondering how something like this would have happened, like really in Japan of all places. Again, we're assuming that, which I already mentioned in spoilers, this is the woman who was stabbed to death live on stream. It was stabbed, right? Like, how could that just happen like that? But if it was some sort of parasocial thing that happened through a host club, well then maybe that kind of makes sense, that he just went crazy.
The sad fact is that they
Went yandere, I guess, if you want to call it that.
can't always afford the expense financially. but also feel like they can't afford not to, emotionally. But if Airi was such a successful live streamer, why did she have to work nights at a kyabakura and partake in papakatsu? Well, although she was one of the more recognizable faces on WhoWatch, the platform itself wasn't mainstream, and it's estimated that she was only earning 300 to 400,000 yen per month.
So that's what, $3,000? I feel like that's acceptable. Like $3,500 a month, that's acceptable.
Approximately $2,000 to $3,000 US. Recent
Is the yen really that weak now? I just like calculated to like the exact number, but I guess we can go with like 3,000. Again, 3,000 is acceptable. It's still low. We can maybe chalk that up to being like minimum wage, but still, minimum wage just streaming. That's incredibly acceptable. I mean, I make $0 doing YouTube, so I mean, to me, that's pretty crazy.
reports state that she was a single mother at the time too, so it could be argued that she was just doing what she needed to in order to support her child. But some people online have found evidence that she was also a big poker enthusiast, so it's plausible that she was blowing through it all gambling. Given that live poker rooms are illegal in Japan, she'd have also needed to spend large sums of money to visit overseas casinos. There isn't a lot of information about this case in English, but I've read Japanese reports that Airi was also a hosu gurui, a host fanatic. That she would save lots of the money she earned working as a hostess, only to, ironically, spend it all at male host clubs on her nights off.
Yeah, I was like, okay, what does that mean? But yeah, again, they do have host clubs for both. I mean, if you haven't seen one of the most famous animes, I would assume of all time. That all time sounds really simple. One of the most famous animes is is it Orion? Orion High School Host Club. That's a bunch of guys. Like when I think of a host club, I think more of like a club with a bunch of guys in it that girls go to. When I think of a host club. But you do again sometimes see the female ones as well in anime. In just like the
Sometimes
background.
burning through hundreds of thousands of yen per visit on bottles of champagne. Whatever the case, it's clear the donation she was earning from her streams weren't sufficient to fuel the lifestyle she wanted. And so,
Yeah, it is kind of like a waste. Like you work as a host just to give you the money that you make as a host to other hosts. Just this cycle of money.
she supplemented her income by befriending her clients. Clients like Kenichi Takano. Kenichi first met Airi back in 2021, when she was 18 and he was 39. Considering that he had no real career and no family of his own, the self-professed hikikomori had long struggled with his sense of self-worth.
Where's he getting the money? He's a hikikomori.
And as such, the attention that Airi showed him at the hostess club was enough to make him smitten.
Let's roll that back. I need full info on this guy.
Kenichi first met Airi back in 2021, when she was 18 and he was 39. Considering that he had no real career and no family of his own, the self-professed hikikomori had long struggled with his sense of self-worth.
Yeah, again, where are you getting the money from to go to a host club? I mean, at he's 39, so he probably had jobs at some point. So he's just like burning through old money, maybe.
And as such, the attention that Airi showed him at the hostess club was enough to make him smitten. Kenichi would regularly journey all the way from Oyama to meet his favorite hostess. Much like how Airi's most dedicated fans had built a parasocial relationship with her online, Kenichi had effectively done the same, only in the real world. Yet despite his genuinely strong feelings, Airi saw him as nothing more than a piggy bank.
I mean, he's also
and she
really
had him
old.
wrapped around her finger. During their text conversations, she'd drop hints such as, "I can't afford my rent this month, my phone bill, my medical expenses."
It's just like soft manipulation. Or like what else would you call it? Soft manipulation, soft guilting? Not really guilting, just it's just soft manipulation, like, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, life sucks, and then hoping that it pokes them into being like, oh, here's some money, I can help you.
"I've been vomiting blood recently. Could I borrow some money?" They were all lies, of course, each more elaborate than the next, But Kenichi always gave in.
That was like $500 at one point. I mean, he shouldn't have killed her, assuming this is that and he did that. But see, that's for 50,000 yen. Again, that's like $500, $400, I guess. Yeah, can I just have like $400, please? I won't ask again. Can I just have 400? And he's just like, yeah. Here's 400. Here's $500. I mean, if there's anybody in the comments right now want to send me $500, cough, cough. I'm mad. I don't have no money. Can't pay the bills. I can't get that new Nintendo Switch 2. Cough, cough. I'm dying. Cough. Can I have $500? But yeah, like really, just like, hey, can I have 500? And then just immediately, here you go. I mean, that's kind of how it goes with these kind of like sugar daddy, sugar baby relationships, right?
Than the next. But Kenichi always gave in. When he started to question how she was spending the 100,000 yen he was sending her each month, she'd of course make excuses. And if he ever wavered about sending her more.
What do we got? So I applied to Lake. Whatever that means, yeah. I hope I can borrow it. I want to die if I can't borrow money. What? Did that actually say that? I don't know. Ire nai to shi ni tai. So the word for die is in that sentence. Like, it's right there. That's the word for die. So I guess maybe she really did just say, I want to die if I can't have money. Don't say that. I want to do it. And then he fell asleep. Please stay alive. I can't live without you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so just more manipulations here.
She'd threatened to end her own existence. Over the course of 2 years, Kenichi lent Irie more than 2.5 million yen.
Oof. That's 250,000, I think. Or 200,000, he's probably gonna like drop it down to.
Or approximately $17,000.
17,000? Isn't it more than that? A million is what? 6 zeros plus the number. Subtract 2 off of that. I don't know about that.
But Kenichi wasn't rich. Like many Japanese people, he was simply lonely. And so, to keep bankrolling Irie, he took out loans from several lending companies. Irie was well aware of the slippery slope Kenichi was going down to support her, and
Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I just like was doing the not the translation, but the conversion rate for yen to dollar. Yeah, it is like 17 point something $1,000, which, Jesus Christ, like, when I used to think of the yen, I used to think it was just equal-ish, but just drop the 2. All you have to do is just drop the last 2 zeros, and you got USD. So if it was well, let's say 50,000 here, you drop the last 2 zeros, and it's $500. But now it's so bad that it's like way below that. Like, so 2.5 million would have been 25,000, but now it's so weak. It's down to 17,000 and some change, which is like, oof. Well, I can't even like do proper yen calculations anymore, like immediate calculations, because it's like so much worse. So yeah, this is like 400 or something, but still. Cough, cough, please help, cough. I need that 400, cough.
Yet repeatedly pressured him to take out more and more loans, going so far as to help him research how to fake the...
Hold on, let's read this. Also, I'm joking, by the way, with the whole coughing thing. If that wasn't apparent, I know that explaining the joke ruins it, but I think you have to be like that with some people. They don't understand. Or am I joking? Cough, please. $400, $500, please. $1 million, please. Hey, where did you get the money from? Eiffel and Lake. What is Eiffel and Lake? Eiffel to Reiku this literally is Eiffel. You sure this is not Eiffel? Like the Eiffel Tower? Eiffel and Lake? I want to borrow from another company. I want about, again, $400 to be withdrawn in advance and put into that account for the repayment. It's really tough. In fact, soon it will be revealed that I lied and borrowed it. I need proof of income. There was a law that said
repeatedly pressured him to take out more and more loans.
You can't lend out a third of your income. A Japanese law that you're not allowed to give away a third of your income seems necessary to confirm. Why are some of the messages smaller than the others? I don't know if that's just like the translation
Going
thing.
so far as to help him research how to fake the paperwork, telling Kenichi
I'm guessing it's just that. Wait, hold on. We skip some stuff
out more and more loans, going so far as to help him research how
here. I looked into it, and it turns out that if you have a job that qualifies you as a self-employed person, or you're receiving the money in a tax-friendly way, you can still borrow the money even if you can't prove it, so it wouldn't be a
to
lie.
fake the paperwork.
I lied about my annual income and working
Can-
hours. Yeah, and working hours are so high. Even if you don't have your personal information registered as a regular employee, you can still pass a screening, and it's often impossible to confirm, so there's no way they'll find out if it's true or not. I went through because I couldn't confirm it. If you continue to ignore income verification, you'll fail. I saw it, but you can just borrow it, just pay it back. I have no choice but to continue ignoring their contact, so I'll probably get a lump sum bill.
Telling Kenichi
It's my parents' house, so I think I'll just get a postcard or something, and that'll be the end of it, I'm guessing.
how much she loved him.
Next
However,
time.
although Kenichi believed he
If I keep ignoring him, he might come. He's already calling.
was simply lending Irie the funds.
He thinks he's just lending them and she'll give them back. I mean, lending. I mean, it's lending like $400. Like if he was lending, well, he gave her up to like almost $20,000. So at that point, it's too much. But like, if you're like really close and tight with somebody, then giving them like a few hundred and knowing that they'll pay it back, that's probably fine. It's like, oh yeah, there's no problem. Also, what's with this Pokemon background? It must be one of their backgrounds, right? I just barely noticed the Pokemon background in the Snorlax icon here. If we cannot, well, when borrowing money from a financial institution, you must submit an income certificate if your annual income is more than, obviously, like more than 4,000 yen from one company, or 1 million yen in total. This is pretty close to like real, not real, but like U.S. standards, right? Because if you make more than, well, this is like actually much higher than that. If you make more than $400 in a year from self-employed, you have to give the government money, or I guess like get obliterated, right? Because if you're doing YouTube stuff or commission work online, they will obliterate you. So just make sure that you keep that under wraps if you are making a bunch of money. Or they will probably eventually find out and delete you, but still. The loans from other companies.
She had absolutely no intention of paying him back, and considered the payments to be gifts.
Of course.
That's despite her promising to reimburse him in their text conversations.
Can I ask you something seriously? What is it? I'm sorry, but I forgot my wallet yesterday when I went to work, so I'm really strapped for cash. I'll give it back to you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I want the money transferred to the cash card I have at home, preferably right now. Praying emoji, water droplet emoji.
And when the day finally came that Kenichi messaged Irie, saying that he needed the money back, she again made excuses. And when he became more persistent,
Please give me the money back. You're not going to pay me back anymore? Different. Is that so? Chigo. Chigo. I don't know if that's what, is that what Chigo means? Is that so? Sonano? I'm barely making ends meet, so unless you transfer the money, I won't be able to pay anything in advance. Barely making ends meet? Doesn't he not have a job? Please transfer the money.
she responded in the simplest way possible.
I guess I will get my money back.
By ghosting him.
Okay. Are you willing to refund the money?
Realizing that he'd been swindled, and unable to get a response, Kenichi sued Irie for repayment.
Sue? He's actually trying to sue her.
The young streamer didn't show up to their court date, and so, by default, the judge ruled in Kenichi's favor. In December 2023, Irie was ordered to pay back all of the money that Kenichi had lent her, along with 3% interest for every year that the amount went unpaid.
So she has to pay him 2.5 mil.
But it quickly became obvious that nobody, not even the court, was going to force Irie to pay up. All the while, Kenichi, who was aware of Irie's live streams, watched as she went online and joked with her supporters about the lawsuit. Through watching the streams, Kenichi also learned that
What do we got? It's been a wonderful birthday. Get married in real life. Thank you very much, everyone. Get married in real life or got married in real life? The public proposal was the best present. I look forward to your continued support. Thank you all for your blessings. I hope you will continue to watch over us with kindness. I will respond to your messages slowly. Lastly, I love you.
A wealthy fiancé whom she lived with in
What?
a high-rise apartment in downtown Tokyo.
Okay, so has a wealthy husband, is milking these guys at the host club for all they got, milking this guy for all he's got, live streaming on YouTube, not on YouTube, live streaming slash doing content creation for minimum wage every month on top of that. So it's not just like her host's money, however much she's making there, but also the minimum wage she's getting from uh, being online, the money she's scamming off of people, and a wealthy husband. Like, how much more money does she need? I mean, was it really just she just had a gambling addiction and she needed the money constantly? Like, she has so many outlets of money. It's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, he was drowning in debt, with creditors literally knocking on his door. He reached out to friends for help, messaging one of them. "Why do I have to go through this? It's my fault for falling in love and being deceived." On March 7th, 2025, Kenichi sent Airi one final text message, asking her to at least pay him back 10,000 yen. But his message went unread.
I mean, that's slightly more than half of what she owes, right? I should at least gone like a slightly less than that, maybe like 5,000. Just to get the ball rolling.
And so, fueled by both embarrassment and rage, Kenichi decided to get his revenge.
Though, I mean, that's not going to do anything. It's just going to ruin your life even more, so...
On March 11th, Kenichi tuned in to one of Airi's live streams and saw that she was outside, walking the length of the Yamanote line alone as part of a scheduled event. He caught a train from Oyama and, keeping an eye on her movements, tracked her down to the quiet neighborhood of Takada-no-Baba. At just before 10 AM, while Airi streamed live to about 6,500 people, Kenichi struck. Viewers watched as Airi looked off camera and became visibly concerned. The live feed continued as Kenichi stabbed her more than 30 times in the face, neck, and stomach with a survival knife. The camera fell to the ground, and the screen went black. For almost 60 seconds, Airi cried for help while being kicked and pierced. And then, she fell silent. But what many thought was a setup was soon confirmed to be a chilling reality when Kenichi picked up her phone and stared at her viewers, his expression completely blank. As one
Well, I mean, he has a mask on, so you can't really tell what his expression is, but...
of his friends would later put it, it was like the light in his eyes had gone out. He continued to aim the smartphone at his face as he coldly asked Airi, "Are you still alive?" The following shot of her bloody body confirmed that she wasn't. Officers arrived 5 minutes after the incident. At first, Kenichi seemed calm, like a good Samaritan standing.
What is happening in this scene? It's always so weird to just see people standing around a body. Because we saw this, like, before with the one snuff video. Was this also... Was that, Lazy Masquerade, where the first one was just a snuff video of a guy killing another guy? Like a hitman killing another guy and just recording it. That might have been lazy as well, but like, yeah, we just have 3 people just hovering over a corpse. One guy calling, probably the police. Another one just watching as he walks by, probably just going about his day, just as he crosses the street and sees that. And I believe that this is the murderer. Like, none of these people are the police, I think. It's just... This guy's just some random guy who's, like, directing them away, but how do they not know that he did this? Like, how does these 2, maybe even these 3, not know that he's the one who murdered her?
Standing over Airi, trying to help. But when they approached the 42-year-old, he calmly admitted to taking her life.
He was 42 at this point. He met her when he was 39, so it's been 3 years of this back and forth between them 2, I guess.
Citing their financial dispute as the motive, and later stating, "I thought that if I caused an incident, the world would know what Miss Sato had done to me. He's currently being evaluated to determine whether he's mentally fit to be held criminally responsible.
I mean, there's nothing mentally ill about him, so I don't know why they're even doing that.
As his lawyers are claiming, he suffers from schizophrenia.
I mean, you're just making that up at that point, I'm pretty sure.
As a side note, when news of the slaying broke, most assumed that it was the famous voice actress Ai Mogami who had been targeted, and her socials were flooded with condolences and RIPs. Both she and her agency were forced to assure her fans that she was indeed still alive. As previously mentioned, this incident has caused a massive stir on Japanese social media. From what I've seen, the majority of internet users sympathize with Kenichi.
Really? I haven't heard anything about that. Wait, is Kenichi the man? Like, the only thing I've heard about is streamer killed live on camera, and it's like, oof, that sucks. Like, I haven't heard nobody talk about this man. So I don't know where he's coming from there, unless we're like scouring the depths of the incel forums for that opinion masquerade. But yeah, I haven't heard any of that. It's just all, the only thing I've heard, again, this might be on the Asian side. Maybe like they're the ones talking about it, and that's why over here, only the information we have is just like, popular streamer killed live. So it's just like, oh wow, that sucks. Though, even with the big picture, it's still like, okay, terrible person killed by an even terribler person. I mean, he was the victim until he killed her, and that made him the worst, obviously more worse than her. I want to say worser, but we have to go, worser is not a word, not a real word. So it made him even worse than her. So again, yeah, he was the victim until he snapped. So it's still not, it doesn't make what he did right. Obviously, there's no reason to kill somebody. You shouldn't be killing people. So it sucks what she was doing to him, but now he deserves life in prison. I don't think they execute people over there, right? So he just deserves life now.
They argue that Irie manipulated and exploited a vulnerable man.
Yes, that is what happened, but that does not matter. He didn't deserve to die. She didn't deserve to die.
Her actions were bound to have consequences.
Sure, but not death.
Kenichi didn't resort to violence immediately. He went through the court.
Yeah, I mean, he did take legal action, which was not upheld by the government, sure, but still, doesn't deserve death.
He asked for help. He reached out to her repeatedly. But the legal judgment in his favor was never enforced. And while Irie continued living comfortably and making light of the situation on her streams, Kenichi was drowning in debt and desperation. Those who side with him have expressed their anger both in the online world and offline, stomping on the memorial.
I mean, come on, guys. This is not okay.
Memorial flowers that have been lit.
Also, why did you put this in the video? Masquerade. I feel like this is like screwed up and make us watch. Out of all things, I know like corpses and people being killed and all that stuff. Like someone stomping on memorial stuff. That's where I draw the line.
At the scene.
Out of nowhere.
In
like
Irie's
that's my line apparently.
His memory.
You gotta keep replaying it over and over again. Hello, stop.
But understanding someone's pain shouldn't be the same thing as condoning their actions.
Yeah, we understand. It's just he still needs to go to jail forever.
Kenichi Takano was a 42-year-old man. He made conscious choices to pursue a relationship with someone half his age at a place infamous for plastic love, to lend her money he didn't have, to keep doing it even when the red flags were clear. Irie wasn't innocent in all of this.
Isn't there a city pop song that is called Plastic Love? Is that what that means? I wouldn't have known. Like I'm swear there's a like city pop song that's like Plastic Love. Let me look that up. All right, so I have the song here. Don't worry about why I'm in the middle of the screen. There's just a word on the screen that I'm covering up. I'll be moved back later. But here's a song. I'm just gonna play it until you hear what I'm talking about. So this is if you ever listen to city pop kind of music, I don't know, it's like Japanese, like 80s. I don't know, just pop, right? It's just like this very specific kind of thing. And if you've listened to any of those kind of like streams of just constant city pop or videos, there's just a bunch of city pop. Like this is like one of the famous ones. It's always in city pop compilations. But yeah, here. See, plastic love. I just wanted to find the part that had the actually saying plastic love, but you can see this is plastic, or yeah, plastic. No, it's not exactly, but yeah, plastic love by Maria Takeuchi. Okay, now that we've gone on that detour, we can get back to this.
That much is clear, but civil society is built on the idea that even when we're wronged, there are limits to how we can respond. Murder is not justice. It's irreversible, brutal, and wrong. Irie Sato lied, used people, and took advantage of a broken system. She should have faced consequences, maybe even served jail time. But she didn't deserve to be butchered in the street, with her final moments preserved online forever. The legal system failed to hold her accountable, but Kenichi failed in a far more catastrophic way. He let his rage take over, and in doing so, he deprived her child of a mother, destroyed Irie's life, and ruined his own in the process.
Yep, that's what I said. You're just ruining your own life even further. It's just like the classic two wrongs don't make a right scenario.
One thing I've learned...
Hopefully I don't get obliterated by playing that, well, what was it, like 5 seconds of Plastic Love on this video. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yep, you played Plastic Love for 5 seconds, or even shorter than that, you're gonna get a copyright strike. I mean, I've never gotten striked for music. Music seems to be pretty okay on YouTube, but I'm just like in complete not security mode, but overprotective is not the right word either. Like, I can't think of the word I need to be using here. Overcautious, let's go with that. I'm just in a complete overcautious mode now that my channel has a strike because of the anime stuff that I had been reacting to. I'm just not playing that game anymore, so I just hope that doesn't do anything. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Also, if you see the eyes being weird, I turned off auto blink. I usually just have auto blink turned on when I'm using this specific program, so it blinks for me. It doesn't actually watch my blinks, but it's actually looking at my face for blinks now. Obviously, my eyes are closed right now, right? So if you see it looking weird, that's why.
Given the billions of videos uploaded to YouTube over the years, it's inevitable that some truly disturbing content has slipped through the cracks. Nightmares buried beneath algorithmic noise, seen by barely anyone. In fact, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to the idea, where users share their darkest findings. r/deep into YouTube. And while browsing through it, I came across this post by user Heart Was Here, who detailed how he'd stumbled upon a particularly disturbing upload that had less than 3,000 views. Found this Russian video, evidently from the 90s, depicting two men stumbling upon snow-covered corpses in a truck bed while researching the abandoned settlement of Yultin, Russia. Never heard anything about this before. Titled 424242 and uploaded by a channel named Yultin way back in 2007.
Are you allowed to show this? They said this is the truck bed. I'm sitting, there's corpses in there. Hello? Masquerade? You trying to get me in trouble?
The clip had been lying dormant on the site, having gone almost unnoticed for 17 years. In all that time, only amassing 3,000... Oh, wait a minute. That's not right. The video has about 50,000 views now. For a moment, I was confused. Heart's Reddit post hadn't received all that much attention, so how had the view count jumped so much higher? Figuring that some other YouTuber had beaten me to the punch, I did a little searching and found that Oompaville had already covered this about 3 months ago.
Okay, so I know this guy is... Does this guy do stuff like this, Oompaville? Oompaville was in the list of people... Well, you might be surprised, I'm going to bring this name up, because I was thinking maybe I should watch her latest video, but Shuonhead. Shuonhead's video of Wendigoon. Like, she did a video on Wendigoon and how people are hating him and hate him. And Oompaville was named in that video. I haven't heard the name since that video. didn't know what he did. I didn't even like pay attention. I was like, okay, just one of Wendigoon's friends. But Oompaville was named in that video. Mr. Baldwin was named in that video. I think Nick Crowley was named in that video. Like all of these guys who do this kind of stuff as like people who should be hated because of what they do. The true crime stuff. So do I need to like add Oompaville to the list of people to watch? I don't know. Again, I haven't watched the newest Shoe on Head video about stuff. So if I should do that, let me know. I don't know if that's something should be watched. I don't know if as soon as you watch a Shoe on Head video, you get thrown to the wolves and everybody tries to delete you. So I don't know if I should be doing that. But yeah, again, maybe I should add Openville. I need to go to these people's channels. Masquerade named somebody, I think, in the last video that I did not go look up, and I don't remember what the name was. But we get that guy, we got Oompaville, Mr. Baldwin I already know about, so again, he can just go on the list as well. Nuke's top 5, get Nuke in there. So we have Nuke, we got Oompaville, maybe, if he actually has something worthwhile. Mr. Baldwin. On the list of things after Masquerade, because again, we're done with Masquerade after today.
So maybe this video isn't quite hidden horror anymore, but it's still one of YouTube's eeriest and most important time capsules. The video begins with a stark message in Russian. Tragedy, Yulton. Editor, Alex. What follows is as silent as it is chilling. A man steps into the bed of a truck, puts on gloves, and lifts what looks like a blanket, revealing the frozen bodies of 3, maybe 4 people. No narration, no music, just death, cold, and unanswered questions. At the end, another title card appears. This is how Yulton died. So, what happened here? Well, the intro and outro slates clue us into where this clip was filmed. A quick Google search tells us that Yulton was a Soviet mining town in Russia's far northeast, founded in 1937 by Gulag prisoners.
Nah, I got nothing on this one. I've never heard of this one before.
It operated for decades, before being officially dissolved in 1995 due to economic unviability. It's no coincidence then that the timestamp on the video clip is dated 1995. Terrifyingly, just 4 months before this footage was filmed, the government shut off all of Yulton's utilities. Their water, their gas, their heating. The town was completely cut off.
They were saying that because they cut them off, they all froze to death out here because of the government.
All its inhabitants were subsequently told to relocate and were given little in the way of assistance or compensation. However, not everybody was able to escape Yulton before the extremely harsh winter months took hold.
I mean, this isn't exactly how things are going for me right now, but where I live right now, these apartments, some billionaire, bought up a bunch of property downtown in the areas and everywhere else so that he can destroy them and build whatever. And one of the places that I'm at is a place that's going to get destroyed. So, like, we literally have X amount of time to leave before we're just booted to the street. So, yeah, that sucks. So, not necessarily the same thing. This is extreme, but just a little anecdote there of how things are going over here.
Without heating, those who couldn't leave froze. Indeed, reading through the comments under the original video.
Those are in fact corpses. Edit. According to the author of the video, these corpses were not murdered, but in fact just died of cold due to the lack of electricity to power heating devices in a Russian village named Yulton, where the channel gets its name. Due to those who were not able to escape ended up dead and were collected as seen in the video. Absolutely right. These are corpses that were found in the snow and in cold apartments in the village of Yulton. The heating had been turned off since the fall, and there was no electricity either, and these are the people who did not have time to leave there. This was 3 months ago. So this person is still alive, whoever posted this, because this is a video from '95, and they posted it in the early 2000s. It's like 20 years later, they're still around on their YouTube. Like, hello? You actually are still paying attention to your YouTube 20 years later after posting that?
The channel owner himself states, "These are corpses that were found in the snow and in cold apartments in the village of
I just read this, so.
Chukotka. The heating had been turned off since the fall, and there was no electricity either, and these are people who didn't have time to leave there. And the unfortunate reality is that these were probably only a handful of the people that the uploader found." Looking deeper into the channel, it becomes clear that the uploader was stationed in Neolton during its final days, and was documenting the settlement's response to their abandonment. That documentation includes 3 more videos of a town meeting between residents who had returned after the long winter, and a government official who had been sent to convince them to leave.
That classic
In the
Russian
village,
hat.
2 women are heard saying, "We'll leave, but where will we live? We spent our whole lives here. Here I have a flat. There I'll be homeless." The official replies, matter-of-factly, "But that's not my problem to solve. Can't you understand that?" Finally, one last video on the channel opens with the words, "And this is how Eolton burned."
Yeah, I could, again, sympathize with that. Like, oh yeah, we bought at your place, we're gonna destroy it. Like, what? Where are we gonna go? That's not our problem. Bye.
It shows how the village was incinerated following
Oof.
its liquidation, how the residents who didn't want to leave were forced to. The video may not be buried anymore, but it still feels like a ghost. A fragment of a forgotten place, captured in its final moments before vanishing from the map. And that's what makes this upload, and the others on the channel, so powerful.
This is the thumbnail for this video. This burning building.
Not just their imagery, but the fact they still exist at all. The channel now stands as a rare piece of documentation about an event most people have never heard of. This isn't just about a mining town in Russia. It's about how easy it is for people, and their suffering, to disappear when no one's watching. It's about the cold efficiency of systems that shrug at human lives. And it's about the strange, accidental role a site like YouTube can play in keeping those stories alive. Because not all of history can be found in textbooks. Some of it's hidden in forgotten uploads, sitting in digital silence, waiting for someone to press play.
I guess that one sucks. That event sucks. Parasite Man. This image in the background is already like, alright, masquerade. I don't think I want to watch this, because that looks like some sort of larva back there. Like this, right here. Can we not do that? So we went from this murder into this unfortunate government's mass murdering, if you want to call it that, because they basically just signed these people to die. And now we're going to do parasites. Oof.
The following is a post shared on r/confession,
That definitely looks like some sort of larva bug.
a place where anonymous Reddit users create threads detailing their darkest secrets. I've read through.
What is it? Got a massage in another country, but didn't end up how I planned. I want to read some. We'll read this entire paragraph. Well, I'll read most of it. I'm not going to read any of it, because I see that there probably is some crazy stuff in this paragraph. Throwaway because my wife views my main account. I went to the Philippines for a work trip, and when checking into the hotel, the front desk asked if I wanted a massage charged to the room. She said it would be $18 for an hour. That was a no-brainer for me, so I told her let's do it. Called to talk to my wife and told her about it, and she joked, "Don't be getting no happy endings," which I laughed because I honestly had never thought of that. The massage person ended up coming to my room, and I took off my clothes and laid on the bed. She covered my butt. So I saw the word butt. I was like, oh, this is going to be something bad now. With a small towel. She began the massage, and I slowly was drifting into I guess, sleep. I guess we'll never know what this one was. Just, if you want to know what ended up happening here, go to, I guess, this. Throw away whatever. I don't know how Reddit works. I don't know if you can find this post. I don't know what this place is called either. What is
The
it called?
following is a post shared on r/confession,
r/confession. I guess go look for that guy's massage
a
story.
place where anonymous
I'm guessing since it didn't go the way he wanted, I'm guessing he got a warning. We are watching some crazy dark stuff, so I feel like you have to expect me to say some crazy stuff every once in a while, which I don't typically do on any of my other videos. They're all like no cursing, no politics, no nothing. It's all just sanitized, politically correct. Not even politically correct. I don't say anything political. Actually, like, I don't say anything. But what I would have to assume happened is that he got potentially pegged, and he wasn't expecting that. Because he's probably, if he was going to get a quote unquote happy ending, he's probably expecting a woman, and that's not what ended up happening.
Almost ready
That's the only
to
way I could see the twist on that story, is that that's
create
what
threads
happened.
detailing their darkest secrets. I've read through hundreds of these confessional posts over the years.
Also, if you're a kid and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't look it up. You shouldn't be watching this in the first place.
But let me tell you, this one's a real doozy, and it's enough to make you question what's going on in the heads of anyone who you come into contact with. I first heard about it over on the Void's channel.
Void? That's another thing? Do I have to start writing things down? Like, you're giving me too many freaking things. Okay. Like, I'll write them down on my computer if I remember. I don't want to do it. You know, I can do it live. I can do that live. Hold on. Like, I have sticky notes on the computer. I don't know if you can see this. It should be. Can you see that? No, you can't see it. You can't see these sticky notes because I'm not. I'm only showing the only sharing this, but I just have a digital sticky note on my computer, and I wrote down Oompaville and the Void on it, so we can add those to the list of things to possibly watch later.
He covers similar content to me, and is really worth checking out. And since so many of you keep asking, I know we sound similar, but no, we're not the same guy. I'll now read through the confession in full, though if you're eating, I recommend pausing the video.
I mean, I already assumed this was something to do with bugs.
I'm coming back once you've finished, because this isn't just gross. It's stomach churning, and crosses a line between the deeply disturbed and the dangerously unhinged.
Well, finally a warning from Masquerade, since he doesn't put those in his videos. He's actually warning you this time around. So you have been warned.
My obsession hurts others around me. It's also my fixation, but it goes far.
Fixation? I'm guessing the word is fetish? Because what other word would they use that needs to be censored other than the word fetish? So I'm assuming he says that that's also my fetish.
Deeper than that. I'll try to explain the obsession the best I can, by explaining how it started. Basically, when I was young, I caught pinworms. It was a strange feeling, and the itch was painful. My parents took me to the doctor, and I got medication to cure it. This event is what sparked my obsession. The thought that my body could be their whole world, their lifeline, almost like a planet of sorts. It was so interesting. After that, I began researching pinworms and other parasites, and I found out the human body already hosts parasites, such as demodex on their eyelashes, and I wanted to know how many a human body could endure without a chance of serious health issues. This curiosity has plagued my mind for years.
And where does the part where my obsession hurts other people around me mean? Is it just because you are gross to be around because you're full of parasites, or your parasites are being given to other people because they get too close to you? What are we talking here?
I'm now 25, but I am very, very well versed in parasites, as I've been studying them for over 10 years. I also purposefully infect myself with non-lethal parasites, because it's part of this compulsion of mine.
Again, I'm guessing fetish is the word being written there.
Some have worked better than others. Quite a few have given me serious diarrhea and fevers, while others have been much more bearable. I currently have pinworms and tapeworms, various non-pathogenic protozoa, and lice. I'm incredibly masochistic, so although it's uncomfortable, I do feel pleasure from it.
Oof, again, this is like a... I mean, to be the last one he uploaded, this is getting pretty oof. I mean, this was a month ago. I mean, it's just only a matter of time until he uploads another one. So, fun fact, I'm not sure sure how true or not true this is. It seems like it's true. But apparently, I forgot how exactly it works, but cats have a parasite in them that they give to you somehow, that once the parasite's in you, it causes you to find them to be cute or something, and that's which is of course what causes you to take care of them and obsess over them. So if you have a bunch of cats and you're just crazy for your cats, that might not actually be how you would typically feel. It might just be because it's that if you have a cat, you most likely have the mind control parasite that the cat has. Like it's basically just a mind control parasite that makes you obsessed slash worship the cat. Thus, uh, you go crazy for it. So just keep that in mind next time you are showering your cat with love and affection, that they might just be mind controlling you. I'm not joking either. Like, just look it up. I don't know how. Again, I don't know how exactly true it is, but that's as far as I'm concerned. That's essentially essentially what's happening with cats. Is that they have a mind control parasite that makes you go nuts over them. Which I don't have any cats, and because of that, knowing that, I feel like I never want to be around a cat ever. I do not want the parasite. So I don't know if I've been around a cat before. Like, I don't know if I've been to a person's place who has the cats. I've been around dogs, but I don't know if I've been around any cats in my life, to be honest. And that's a reason why I may keep it that way. 'Cause, I'd like to not have mind control parasite in me, please. Thanks. So yeah, just think about the next time you look at your cat, or think about your cat.
All these parasites mean I need to eat a lot more than the average person, and I still look thin. And to be quite honest, it means I can enjoy so much more food than most people. I also keep multiple cultures of bedbugs and
Okay, that's okay. Get out of here. Bedbugs, bye. Bye.
leeches in containers, and allow them to feed on my blood sometimes. Although those kinds are not really my passion, as they don't live permanently on the human body. But I think they're interesting nonetheless, and I find them pretty cute.
Nope.
Now it's
Leeches
time
are
for the
cool, though.
confession.
Leeches are fine. Bedbugs, bye.
My obsession and fixation isn't
Fetish?
just about infecting myself anymore. I also have the desire to infect others, and I have acted on those desires.
But I assumed like where this was gonna go.
Sometimes my parasites just pioneer to new lands on their own. My family have caught pinworms multiple times without my intention, and other times I purposely spread them. I have infected strangers, friends, and even my own family. I know it's bad, but I just can't stop. I think I have parasites in my brain that make me feel like I need to spread them. I know how crazy that sounds, but if you knew the feeling, you'd understand.
Which I was saying, mind control parasite with the cats, it's not out of the question that he does have some sort of parasite in his brain now at this point that is making him want to spread parasites to other people. Because again, it's already part of normal human culture to be infected with cat mind control parasite, and which makes you obsess over cats. And it would be in its favor to make you do that to other people. So I think it just makes sense that maybe there is a parasite in his brain that is making him want to spread that stuff. Like the zombie parasites. There's zombie parasites too, right? That just take over a bug's body and mind controls it and back to the what is it? Back to its home base, and maybe like then kills it in some way that makes the parasite spread to everything else. So that, I mean, that's pretty much just uh, common like in every other Tuesday for parasites and fungi, even anything that infects you. Like again, the zombie parasites, like that happen to insects, like literal zombie parasites. And when I'm not talking about like fiction here. I'm talking about like real life. I'm talking about like the actual zombie parasite stuff that happens to bugs. Of course, that's not something that happens to humans, but there is like a zombie parasite that infects insects and controls them to then. I think that's the same one that will try to spread itself to others. Again, by controlling the zombified insect, controlling its body to move it to other entities and then try to spread itself to them.
Maybe
Something
it's
like
just
that.
a mental illness.
I'm not a parasite doctor or entomologist. Is that the one that studies bugs? I'm not one of those. I'm not a parasite. This is just like anecdotic stuff that I kind of know that probably isn't 100% accurate, but still.
Or maybe its origin is parasitic in nature. I don't really know. All I know is that it feels good when I do these things. I feel an intense need to spread my children, and when I do, I feel pleasure. I must have spread thousands of my children over the years. I sometimes sprinkle tapeworm eggs into people's drinks when I'm out at clubs.
Excuse me?
I also caught pubic lice from a random woman I met at the same club.
What could he have said there? I guess it's just the word sex, which really we're censoring the word sex now? From sex with a random woman.
And in return, I'm pretty sure I gave her pinworms, so it was a trade. The woman wasn't even attractive. I just wanted to gift her some pinworms. And instead, I basically won the jackpot. I then spread my lice to at least 4 other women. Sometimes I sprinkle worm eggs onto food in buffets whenever I visit them.
He must be like, how are you infected with so much parasites and just have like all these eggs and just nonsense all over the place so you can just spread and are getting women to sleep with you? Are you taking care of yourself on the outside that much that it's unnoticeable that you have all this stuff infecting you? I mean, I guess he's extremely thin because he has so much stuff inside of him. So that's if I had to guess, that's all it is. It's just he's just so skinny that that's all it takes for women to be like, okay, cool. Again, like it. You see, there's no excuse, guys. There's no excuse, people. Like if this guy's out there, well, I mean, this is like pointless interactions, loveless interactions. So you don't want that, but I'd say never mind on that. If he actually gets a wife, though, that's a different story. Like if this guy can get a wife, then oof. Just meaningless interactions, though, you don't care about that. You want an actual wife or husband.
Yes, I understand you'd think it's gross and messed up. I am basically betraying my species for my children. It's hard. I do enjoy people, and I have wonderful friends and family. But I also love my parasites, and my desire is just too hard to control. I don't want to hurt anyone when I do these things, but a force beyond my understanding is driving me to do it.
No.
I think I could possibly have a parasite in my brain that's yet to be discovered. I'm sorry to all of the people I have caused discomfort to, but it's for a cause beyond human understanding. Although this can all be justified, I still feel guilt. I don't want to hurt anyone. I hope the people I spread my gifts to can be a little more open-minded and not kill my children, but learn to live with them like I have instead. I'm aware of how immoral this seems to most people. I assume you may see me in a negative light after reading this. But remember, I only want what's best for my children. And if you were truly in my shoes, I'm sure you would do the same.
I know he skipped some sentences in here. There was nothing bad about this, but he skipped a couple sentences in that paragraph.
As nightmarish as that confession is, what's perhaps more disturbing is how matter-of-factly it's told. This isn't a cartoon villain twisting a moustache. This is someone operating in everyday life, hiding in plain sight. Someone who knows what they're doing is wrong, but's both unable and unwilling to stop. The idea that someone could casually sprinkle parasite eggs into food at buffets or drinks at clubs is terrifying, but not just because of the physical danger, but because of how invisible the threat is. You'd never know. To this day, the identity of the original poster remains unknown. Reddit users have speculated, debated, and tried to piece together clues, but couldn't pinpoint his location. And obviously, no one's ever come forward. Whether this was an authentic admission, or an elaborate work of fiction, there are undoubtedly people who think like this out there. communities of bug chasers.
Okay, I haven't heard that word in a long time, but I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, when he uses the word bugs, he doesn't literally means bug, he just means people who want to catch as many diseases as possible.
Who partake in so-called gift-giving. In a world where people wear metaphorical masks, this confession is a reminder that the darkest urges don't always stay locked inside. Sometimes they leak out into the real world.
Yeah, like he said, these bug chasers, like there's literally people out there that are trying to catch every single STD that they can possibly get. And like they want to do that. Yeah, that's the end of the video. So this parasite story isn't too far-fetched. It is pretty like based in reality. So it could be real. You never know. I was surprised we got like an hour out of this one though, because this was the shortest video I think we watched so far, 26 minutes. I was able to get a whole hour of talking out of it. Though a lot of the tangents really worked with that one. Plus, we went and talked about Plastic Love, the song, city pop song, for a second, so there was that too. Yeah, oof on this one. Again, this is like a two wrongs don't make a right kind of story. Like it is a story where she actually was in the wrong, but again, he was even more wrong to enter life. This one's just like a sad story about the government screwing over its people. Which again, can relate to on a 1%, because I'm not saying it's not even anywhere close to this one. I can relate to this on a small percent, because again, it's literally happening to me. Like, government's like, alright, we're destroying these apartments and houses and buildings that have been here for decades and decades. Might as well be a historical landmark at this point. I don't care. We're destroying them. Where are you gonna go? We don't give a crud. Just get lost. In this economy, though, like really, in this economy, you're destroying houses to build stuff that doesn't matter. 'Cause they're not replacing them with other housing. They're destroying them for stuff again that doesn't matter. I'm not gonna go too far into it. So I was like, really, guys, kicking us all out of this place and not helping us get out of here. Just like get lost. So again, like I said, I can relate to this story here. We have a lot of relatable stuff, though, right? I've added some anecdotes from my side in some stories that we've been watching. This one, though, is oof. Again, this feels this is baked in reality. Again, bug chasers do exist, unfortunately. And this guy is basically just a mutated version of that. Where it's like literal bugs that he's trying to catch. Rather than like diseases and STDs. Yeah, oof. Again, if there's any suggestions on what I should be adding to the list, because this is the last Masquerade video we're going to be watching until he makes a new one. That's probably like in the disturbing things I found list, or another like thing. There's what is this one down here? Disturbing online rabbit holes you should know about. Wait, I might watch that one. We'll see. I mean, you can't see what I'm looking at, but there's that video. I might throw that in to the list after the next Crowley video. So we might see if Oompaville is something I'm interested in, Mr. Ballin, The Void, and maybe, again, SCP stuff. I might have to like start doing, if I get too much stuff, I might have to start doing 2 videos a day instead of just 1. But I don't know if it'll come to that anytime soon. But guys, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, think about becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, watch time and subscribers, and over at we have Thrown as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr and RaleyDrew. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Tune to the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment. To the dude. See ya.